Okay, where to begin? As concise as possible. So I grew up with a black mother. So that's a black mother and a white father. It's very cool, isn't it? So exotic. To relate to the previous question, my mom was really obsessed with my hair, consistently describing it as good hair versus my two older brothers' nappy hair. I love a little bit of internalized racism in the home. It's a wonderful space to grow up in. In my own act of rebellion, I cut my hair very, very short as soon as I stopped living with my mom, and that deeply angered her. Also, apparently having good skin versus my brother's skin meant that I got tattoos. Having a good nose meant that I got my nose pierced. So in reality, everything that my mom seemed to really, really enjoy about having a mixed-race child, I then wanted to destroy in my later years, because I didn't think it was fair. Also, being one of the palest people in my family, sort of my immediate family, has meant that I've been referred to as Snow White at home a lot, which is great fun. So I'm the whitewashed one, which isn't too entertaining, but I don't think that's the experience of all mixed race people at all, but just my particular experience. Then I went to a predominantly white school, so I went from being way too white at home to being way too black at school, which was really not fun. To all the other kids, I was sort of the weird one or the different looking one, and they couldn't understand my relationship with my family because they noticed that I was a different color to the rest of my family, and they frequently thought that my mom was like my grandma or like my nanny or something like that, which was really strange. And then at university, there are loads of people, because I do English and drama, and we talk about race a lot because it's basically cultural studies. So we talk about race and we talk about gender and all sorts of cool politics. It was very interesting. But then I just became the spokesperson for all black experiences. So then I wasn't black enough and I wasn't white enough, but somehow I was enough of all of these things to educate every single other person in the classroom on things they should basically already know. And it sort of makes me think about whether or not, as a person of colour, I actually have, whether it is my responsibility to educate the rest of the world on things that don't really seem that complicated. So I feel I have an advantage in sort of existing in both spheres, but I simultaneously do not exist in either sphere, which is fine because I don't think there's a way to identify as just like one or the other. When you're mixed, you just are mixed. So you get some experiences and you miss out on other experiences. But that's basically my experience, for lack of a better word or synonym.